Right. Okay. All right. Let's get started. Vaishnavi, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Right. How's your
Hello.
day been so far?
It's been well. I've been doing good.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Awesome. Vaishnavi, where are you from?
I'm from Mumbai,
You're from
Maharashtra.
Mumbai.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And were you born and brought up in Mumbai?
I was born in Chennai and immediately we shifted to Bombay because father works here. So
Okay.
I've been raised in Mumbai partially till my 6th grade. 7th
Right.
onwards until 10th, I went to Bangalore to pursue badminton under the Prakash Padukone Academy. Then I came back because we couldn't maintain the arrangement where he's working here and we were living there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So, what's going on in Mumbai? I mean, of course, it's a very broad question. Mumbai is the hub of so much activity, right? There's always something or the other going on, whether it's politically on the business side, even when it comes to COVID, it's always in the news. In terms of the latest news, give me top 2 headlines about what's happening in Mumbai currently.
So I'm drawing a blank right now. I'll have to look it up and get back to you.
Okay, think about it. I can give you a minute to think about it, and then you can tell me.
No, sir, I'm not able to get it.
Okay, that's fine. Are you somebody who keeps yourself, like, do you sort of read the newspaper on a regular basis? Do you keep yourself updated on current affairs?
I try as much as possible, but I'm not somebody who's extremely regular with it, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get there where I'm regularly following the news. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it's important for an MBA candidate to be good? And I want an honest answer here. Do you think it's important for an MBA candidate to be sort of updated about what's happening around them?
Yes, I think it is important for an MBA candidate to be updated. But I also feel it's important to choose the news that's relevant to their area, what they're doing wisely, and become more aware of it.
Okay. Why do you think it's important for an MBA candidate to be updated about current affairs?
If it is something related to their field of if it is something related to their field of business or their field of work, I think if it's a field of work, it could be passive updating of things. But I think if it's related to the field of business, there is a possibility that you stumble upon something that has some implication to what you're doing, and so it's important to focus on that.
Okay, yeah. Got it. Just give me 1 second.
I think this is especially relevant to economics and stock market and all of that.
Got it. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Okay. So now just give me a brief idea about your background, Vaishnavi.
Sure. So I was, as you know, born and raised in Mumbai. Partially completed my schooling here, then went to Bangalore to pursue badminton, and eventually I came back. But I continued to play under the Prakash Padukone Academy because they have a branch here. Then there came a point where I had some recurring health issues and injuries, after which I felt, I should focus on academics. At which time I developed a passion and a very great, involvement in philosophy quite naturally. So I decided to pursue that in my bachelor's and master's. Eventually, I went on to work because that was the next best thing to do. I was new to teaching, so I felt, I should try it and see how it goes. And during the fag end of the part where I had to quit to pursue PhD, I felt that the issues I was addressing through the PhD needed hands-on experience of some form, not necessarily the one that gives me corporate experience, but experience per se. And I started thinking it wasn't an easy call. It took a few months because I was also selected for the PhD by the interview panel. I had the research fellowship with me. So in the month of July, August, I took a complete decision that this is, and I want to do an MBA because the first impetus was that it gave me, diverse opportunities to
Right.
go.
Okay. So Vaishnavi, we'll talk about the why MBA bit. Okay.
Sure.
That of course we'll have a discussion around that. Just have a few questions around your background. So you said that you did your bachelor's and master's in philosophy, right? Because you were passionate about it, and then you were planning to do your PhD in philosophy as well.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Great. So tell me something. You've invested crucial years in your bachelor's and master's doing philosophy. You're telling me that you have a passion for philosophy, which is a very, very strong term, right? So you're saying that you decided not to do your PhD because you thought you needed hands-on experience.
Yes.
Okay. Explain that, elaborate on that a little bit.
So philosophy is a subject which is sometimes delving too much into theory and abstraction. Right. It has a lot of practical implication only when the situations arise and we have an opportunity to implement what we have learned. Right. So when I took up teaching, I had the opportunity to teach, but I wanted more authenticity in what I was teaching to the students. So I felt that that this is where the hands-on experience part comes. That it will give me that authenticity and space to implement what I have learned. So that was the first step to think of looking outside philosophy.
Interesting. Okay, I get it. As somebody who's been in teaching myself off and on, I understand what you're saying. So you're saying that you want some sort of practical real world experience, and so that when you're teaching in the classroom, it's just not based on theory. It has a practical sort of real world element to it as well. Yes. Okay, I get that. So the plan right now is to get hands-on experience, and that's why you've decided to do an MBA.
Yes.
Okay. Long term, do you plan to sort of go back to teaching, go back to sort of pursuing a PhD in philosophy? Is that a plan in the future?
Initially, when I thought of going away from it, that was a plan which I had, but that was at a very nascent stage. Okay. Now that I've gotten interested in all of these aspects and I want to learn, I'm still open to it. I haven't come down to a concrete decision as yet. I think I'll cross the bridge when it comes.
Okay. Got it. Sounds good. Let's talk about this a little bit more. I'm just trying to understand your sort of plan, right? See, from philosophy to MBA, it's sort of almost like a 180-degree flip that you're doing, right? I mean, these are two very widely different fields. I get the part about hands-on experience, right? But it would have made sense if you had said that, okay, you know what, I'm going to get some real-world experience. I don't know how that will work out, but something connected to philosophy, right? So that when I go back to the classroom, I'm a more powerful teacher, right? What's the connection here? Like, what's your motivation to do an MBA? Why do you want to do an
MBA? So I believe that there was a point when I thought about the hands-on experience part that I thought of getting into social work because I'm already involved in taking care of community stray dogs. So that's one aspect through which I thought I'll be able to get into that and get the experience that I'm looking for. But but eventually I also felt that doing an MBA will give me the exposure to not just one aspect of what I am thinking or having in mind. It'll also give me exposure to people who come from different backgrounds because I understood through my master's how important peer learning is. I had a diverse group of friends who came from, there was even one from hypnotherapy, for example. So all of these things sort of made me realize that it's important to understand and have a holistic view of the experience that I want, not just a partial one. And I felt an MBA will be able to give me that.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. All right. So Vaishnavi, an MBA is obviously, it's there are two aspects to it, broadly speaking, right? Very simplistically speaking, there's business and there's management.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What are your interests in these areas?
My interest in these areas at the moment is, to be honest, it's I don't know too much about it because even my work ex has not been direct relation with any form of management. or any
Right.
form of working under a person who's managing. So my interest is there, but I want to get into an institution, learn and understand firsthand what it is all about, and then try to figure out what suits me.
No, Vaishnavi, that's very risky. Okay, an MBA is a very costly affair, right? You're planning to invest your 2 years, 2 crucial years of your prime. Okay, in an MBA program, you're going to invest about 20-25 lakhs in it. And you're saying that you don't know too much about business and management at this point in time. Isn't that a decision-making issue then? I mean, like on what basis are you then making this decision of doing an MBA?
So there are two main reasons why I'm making the decision. The first, most important one is the fact that I'm looking for hands-on experience and a holistic approach. The second one is also the fact that I'm looking for more lucrative opportunities, which is the other aspect. And therefore, I have the ability to learn and adapt to new situations, because of which I'm positive that although my experience is not directly related, I will be able to contribute meaningfully.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. What are your post-MBA plans? What do you plan to do after your MBA?
At the outset, I am planning to get into market research.
Okay.
And I think I understand the attitudes of people quite easily. I mean, it comes, I have an affinity to it. Likes and dislikes, all of those things. So I think even at 2IIM, the internship I'm planning, they're giving me a similar role where I'm handling the blog and social media. So I think people interaction, research, these are things that comes to me. So I'd like to enter through that space and then see where that leads me.
Right. You're planning an internship at 2IIM. How is that going to work with your full-time MBA internship? Like what's happening there?
So at the moment, the job that they said they are assigning me is to handle the social media space for IPMAT, and writing and content creation, basically. So I think that will give me an understanding of what the people want, what sort of content they want, what they're looking for, what gaps I have to fill to reach out to people, and what problems they have, so that I'm able to address that also through the blog or in whatever way that I can help them. And that will, I'm sure, help me in market research eventually.
Okay. And when you say market research, what's your understanding of market research? What does it? What are the different components of market research, broadly speaking?
So broadly speaking, there is problem identification, problem solving. Then you have data collection, data analysis, and eventually translate that into a business strategy. This is what I understand.
Okay. Do you know the difference between primary and secondary data?
Yes, primary data is that which is collected directly from the people. Secondary data is that which is collected, for example, through an agency that has already done the groundwork.
Okay. And how is primary data collected directly from people?
Through polling, telephone calls, personal interview, even group interviews. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Psychometric test.
Sounds good. What's the difference between quantitative and qualitative research?
So I'm still reading about it. I've read a little bit about quantitative research, and what I've understood is that quantitative research translates the information into the form of graphs and charts to understand the trend, gaps, and what is needed to fill in the problem. And qualitative, I think, is the assessment of, this is at least what I understand, it's the assessment of the information that they've got, as in for example, to determine the authenticity of the information that a person gives, whether it's qualitatively sound, it can be taken into consideration, that part of it.
Okay, got it. Okay, sounds good. All right. Okay. So Vaishnavi, tell me this. If let's say you get into a B school, okay, you're saying that you would like to sort of pursue market research. So I'm guessing your intended specialization is marketing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Just give me 1 second. All right. So market research is one component of marketing, right? What are the other components that go into marketing?
The other components that go into marketing is will be so I'll have to read up a little more on that.
All right. Okay, just 1 second.
I'm not aware of the technical terms, so I'll have to read up.
Right. Okay. Got it. All right. Okay. So Vaishnavi, let me ask you this. See, you have a very unusual background for MBA, right? And you're also aware of that.
Yes.
You've not only done your bachelor's, you've done a master's in philosophy as well. Okay.
Yes.
And you plan to pursue your PhD and all of that. You have, of course, you also have academic experience in terms of teaching, and that too in the realm of philosophy, right?
Yes.
So very unusual background for an MBA candidate. Now there are candidates that come in with solid business experience, right? They come in with on an average 2 years of very rich experience of working in some meaningful roles in top companies. Nowadays, you even have candidates who come in with consultancy experience.
Yes.
The consulting experience, right?
Yes.
Which never used to happen earlier, but now they do get these consulting roles, right? Like let's say, for instance, students from premium institutes who've done their graduation get into consulting and then come join their MBA, right? It's a very sort of logical transition or logical path for them, and they come armed with rich business experience. Okay.
Yes.
You have no business experience, and your academics is also not related to business. Okay.
Yes.
Why should I select a student like you who has no connection with business and management?
Sir, going ahead with a person like me basically entails you wondering what I bring to the table.
Right.
So there are 3 things that immediately comes to my mind when I have to answer this. The first thing is critical thinking. The kind of aptitude that I have built over these years to think critically, not get carried away by unconscious biases is the first thing. The second thing is ethical awareness. It completely molds you to be very, very ethically sound and aware of yourself and how you deal with people, how you engage with people. So there is a high level of intention to not manipulate anybody under any circumstance.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And the third one is more of a soft skill in terms of being patient and empathetic with people, which I think in the long run will have meaning when it comes to leadership roles.
Okay. Yes. Sounds good. Talk to me a little bit about critical thinking. So you're saying that you've developed critical thinking skills.
Yes.
Because of your background in philosophy.
Yes.
Explain that a little bit to me. How does philosophy help in building critical thinking skills?
So, for example, if you are stuck in a problem for a while, so it could be any issue related to what you're doing, and suddenly there is an emotional distress of any kind. It could be during COVID or any such incident. If you have the ability to, at that moment, be aware of the fact that what you are is before thought, right? This is a little technical, but if that awareness sets in that what you are and where you truly lie, your identity lies before thought, that awareness itself helps you at that moment to sail through very difficult situations. So whether it's pressure situations, crucial situation where you have to take a decision, haste completely goes out of the picture, which I think is important while taking decisions.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. So as you said, it's a little technical. So
yes.
as somebody like me who's a layman, right, and
Yes.
doesn't know the technical terms of philosophy, explain to me in the simplest terms, what do you mean when you say identity before thought?
Okay. A very simple example would be to take your experience of your deep sleep, where there is absolutely no thought, and right. So you are aware of the fact that there is some space in you which allows lack of thought. There is no thought, and that is a space that you're very comfortable in, because nobody will ever say that deep sleep was an unpleasant experience.
Right.
Dream could be, but deep sleep can never be.
Right.
So if you can at least know of it, become aware of it, think about the fact and digest the fact that there is something like this, that slows it down, as in slows your thinking process down. And you sit back a while and think that, okay, let me not get carried away by the biases which I'm sort of producing in my mind. Wait and, then take a call. So,
okay. All right. I get that. I think I'm getting the drift.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to practice this in real life, let's say if I want to practice this in real life, right? It's clearly a very esoteric concept, right?
Yes.
Are there any sort of easy ways to practice this or to apply this in real life?
Yes. I mean, if I were to take the example of yoga, that's the best thing that comes to my mind if you were to, look at it from a practical perspective. But I would still, in yoga, classify this under the process of breathing, pranayama. So,
okay.
Where it's very close to it.
Got it. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. That's fine. Just give me 1 minute, okay?
Sure.
All right. So you're a student of philosophy, you're a student of arts, right?
Yes.
I understand you didn't study linguistics or you didn't study languages, right? But you did study philosophy, right? So
Yes.
and at the end of the day, you're a humanities student, right? I would expect a student like you to have a very high verbal score. Do you think that's a justified expectation out of a student like you?
I completely agree with you. I myself expected to do better than what I did. Okay. But this was my first experience in CAT. So the one thing that I did not expect would happen in CAT was my perception of time. I felt like it flew. So the first section, it was faster than I expected during the day of the exam as compared to the mock. That's why I also stumbled during the LRDI section. By the time the quant came, unexpectedly, I did, in terms of the percentile, I did better than the other two, which I didn't think would happen, but it did, because I sort of got the drift of what's happening on that day.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Now, Vaishnavi, tell me, you have a bunch of calls from different institutes.
Sure.
What's attracting you to NMIMS?
What's attracting me to NMIMS? Firstly, the graph, how it's grown as an institution from 1981 to 2022. There are many schools under NMIMS, and it's grown manifold. Secondly, I also worked at NMIMS School of Law, so I have firsthand seen the administration part of it, because I was a visiting faculty there, along with the professors, the quality of professors also, Dean Sir, and the student quality. So I was very happy with that. And thirdly, an important aspect that's close to my heart is the involvement of NMIMS in societal development. I'm sorry, I'm not able to recollect the exact name of the wing that makes this happen, but that was a very compelling factor for me.
Okay.
Yeah.